became a doctor, and celebrated by handing me divorce papers in the graduation parking lot. I signed them without argument and disappeared so completely that 3 years later, she was still searching. 8 years of working double shifts to pay her medical school tuition. 8 years of frozen dinners, canceled vacations, and being told, once I graduate, everything will be different. The graduation ceremony was on a Thursday in May. I took the day off work, bought a new shirt. This was supposed to be our moment, our achievement, our future, finally beginning. When they called her name, I stood up and clapped harder than anyone else. The ceremony ended around noon. I waited by the car while she posed with classmates. That diploma clutched like a golden ticket. When she finally walked over, I expected a hug. Instead, she handed me a manila envelope. Divorce papers, she said, like she was discussing the weather. I already signed my part. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. This was planned. Look, I don't need you anymore. I have my degree, job offers, a future. You were helpful during school, but that chapter's over. No dead weight. 8 years of marriage reduced to 2 words, helpful and dead weight. Her colleagues were gathering around us, watching. I opened the envelope, everything already filled out, assets divided, apartment claimed. Then I did something that surprised everyone. I pulled out a pen and signed every page. Right there in the parking lot, I ended our marriage with the same casualness she'd started this conversation. There, congratulations on your graduation and your divorce. Her mouth dropped open. She'd expected drama, begging, anger. You're not going to fight this? Why would I fight for someone who just called me dead weight? I walked away from the car, leaving her standing there with her diploma in one hand and our signed divorce papers in the other. 3 days later, I was gone from the state. The beauty of being married to someone who never paid attention to finances. She had no idea what I controlled. The apartment she thought she was getting, lease in my name only, paid from my personal account for 2 years. I closed our joint accounts, transferred my phone to a new carrier, canceled utilities, even canceled the Netflix she loved. Portland, Oregon became my destination. Clean slate, where nobody knew my story. Meanwhile, she discovered reality. Landlords don't accept I'm going to be a doctor as payment. When the electricity shut off 3 days later, she finally understood that I hadn't been dead weight. I'd been the foundation. Her texts started week 1. Calls began week 2. 27 in one day. I deleted every message unread, let every call go to voicemail. By month 3, she'd hired a private investigator. I landed a construction management job, bought a house with a yard, joined a hiking group, started dating a graphic designer who had her own career and actually seemed interested in my thoughts. After a year, I proposed. 3 years after that parking lot, she tracked me down through medical database records. Showed up at my work, my house, even got police called for trespassing. She cornered me at Home Depot on a Saturday afternoon. Please, just give me 5 minutes. For what? To apologize. To ask for another chance. You had 8 years of chances. You used them all up in a parking lot. I was stressed. I said things I didn't mean. I've regretted it every single day. Which part do you regret? Calling me dead weight? Or discovering that dead weight was keeping your life afloat? She tried explaining how hard residency had been, how she realized she'd given up the best thing in her life. So when you thought you'd be wealthy and successful, you threw me away. Now that reality hit and you're struggling, suddenly I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. I love you. I've always loved you. I'm engaged. We're getting married in September. The words hit her like a physical blow. 2 weeks later, she showed up at my workplace claiming a medical emergency. I handed her 2 things, a restraining order and a wedding invitation. I want you to understand that I'm not just moving on from you. I've already moved on completely. 6 months later, I married my fiance. My ex-wife wanted a fresh start with no dead weight. I gave her exactly that.